It is my distinct pleasure now to present to you this morning our graduation speaker, about whom a lot ought to be said, but I will edit my remarks carefully. The speaker today is Mr. Lynn Ashby. Those of you who read the Houston Post will have run across him various times in various causes, often in favor of Texas A&M. And I believe we will enjoy his remarks today. He spoke here once before and endeared himself to the audience. Mr. Ashby joined the Houston Post in 1968 after serving almost 7 years on the broadcast desk of the New York Times. Prior to being selected to write a column, he served as a general assignment reporter and as an assistant city editor. He earned his Bachelor of Journalism degree from the University of Texas in 1962. In 1977, the Association of Former Students designated him an honorary Aggie. Mr. Ashby has written several enlightening columns about Texas A&M through the years and has spoken periodically on this campus. Born in Dallas, Mr. Ashby and his wife have 3 children. Please join me in welcoming Lynn Ashby. Lynn.
Thank you, Dr. Vandiver, for that extremely lackluster introduction. My speech won't be quite as long. Thank you all for having me here this morning. A TSIP asked to impart words of wisdom to Aggies. Seems only fitting. Somebody has a leak in their whoopee cushion down there, don't you, this morning? I do love missionary work, so I always enjoy coming up here. I bring you greetings from civilization. Actually, as was mentioned, I am an honorary Aggie. At the time, I was told that being an honorary Aggie is reserved for those who deserve the very best and almost got it. Now, when I was asked to come up here to A&M, I first thought it was my turn to be regent for the day. Then I thought, well, you couldn't get Sheldon Glashow, so I was plan B. I turned that down when I learned what you pay professors around here. You know, Jackie Sherrill spills that much. So. Now, at times such as these, a commencement speaker is supposed to tell you certain things that you already know. Onward and upward, the world is waiting for your talents. Please save us from ourselves. That is Bevo chips. By now, you should know the direction, and if you don't, it's too late. I will tell you that there is room at the top, and I'm lonely up here. I'm going to have to put that down. It's bothering me. I will also tell you, as a class collectively and as individuals, you have been selected. You selected to come to Texas A&M, and this school selected you to come. It does not take all who wish to come here. For example, this past fall, 14,000 persons made some kind of inquiry to attend A&M. 8,000 were accepted. 40% of those who inquired and 20% of those who formally applied were rejected. Each year there are thousands of young people around this state who wanted to be Aggies but didn't make the cut. For many of you, being accepted here was the high point of your academic career. No. Over the years, over the terms and the tests, many left. This is not the freshman class of 1979, 4 years later. It is only the survivors. Many left of their own accord. They knew they couldn't hack it, or they got sick, they ran out of money, They selected themselves out because maybe they knew way down deep they really didn't want to stand throughout all the football games. And during the same period, the school selected a lot out. Those students flunked out, were asked to leave, got across the Brazos just in time. A&M called them out bit by bit, course by course, keeping only the best and the brightest. And that, God help us all, is you. Now, it didn't just happen. It happened for a lot of reasons. One was that the people of Texas are willing to foot the bill. This year, Texans spent $330 million running Texas A&M right here on you. That is the cost of buying the nuclear submarine USS Houston, our newest submarine. $250 million just to run this school this year. Now, if you want to count the Galveston campus over there, it's another $7.5 million. Texans didn't have to foot the bill because you have no right to your education. Oh, I know. You were told that you had a right to go to college, that we had an obligation to give you the best education there is. We told you that. We lied. You have only the luck, the smarts, and the simple animal cunning to be here today. That is why you are here. Another reason it happened is that Texas A&M looked you over and finally decided, grudgingly, that you're good enough to join their club. So you arrived a few years back as selectees. Texas took you out of the bars and out of the back 40 and is just about to put you on center stage up here. You've come a long way. We offered you a good and a terribly expensive education. Whether you bothered to partake of it or not was up to you. The world will soon find out. That's the good news. Now I drop the other shoe. You see, you are not some luxury of a wealthy state. You are not the recipient of goodies from some patron of the arts. Not at all. You are an investment, a solid financial investment in the future of Texas. We paid our money and we want something in return. You are expected to produce more than you cost. You didn't get something for nothing. For I will now give you the first and foremost law of the outside world. There is no free lunch. You have been given a lot here, and we expect a lot in return. You gives and you gets. This is the case in any college or university, but here at Texas A&M, it is especially true because you must do more. Being good enough is not good enough. You see, you bear a special brand. You are the Aggies. The Aggies are you. You are different. Can you imagine people who have never been to this campus before sitting up there this morning, wondering why everybody is squealing? You are different. Whether you are better or worse is debatable. But you are different. You work to be different. I mean, on most campuses, you can walk on the grass. Most schools don't build huge bonfires and wear distinctive military uniforms. You do. You have worked to be different, and most of the world would agree that you have succeeded beyond your wildest dreams. There is, without a doubt, no other place on earth like Texas A&M. But if you want to stick out in the crowd, you'd better be better. Because now we get down to the nub of the matter. You are selected, you are chosen, you are pampered and loved, paid and congratulated. But so are the graduates of the other 1,984 institutions of higher learning in this country. There are 2 universities in this nation for every one of you. Now, let me tell you something. You have not heard of most of them. You have not heard of the many colleges and universities graduating students, many of them today. You haven't heard of them, but they've heard of you. They have heard of Texas A&M from dumb jokes to Broadway musicals. Incidentally, you beat Texas only in fiction, you know. Now you must ask yourself a very simple question. Why? Why us? I will tell you why. In every operation, in every organization, in every human endeavor, inevitably one person, one group stands out from all the others. It's easy to list them. The U.S. Marines, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, Lynn Ashby, they're all... Thought I'd slip that in if anybody wasn't noticing. In our world, in our lifetime, it hasn't been in the past, it may not be in the future, among all the nations on earth, it is the United States which sticks out. We have something everyone else wants. And for that reason, we are the nation they love to hate. In the United States, among all the states, for the very same reasons, it is Texas. And in Texas, for the very same reasons, it is the Aggies. You are a private club which we cannot join. You have something going on which we don't fully understand. But you have it. You seem to have a lot of fun. We don't, and the rest of the world is somehow jealous. So never forget that Texas is to America as America is to the rest of the world. Texans have too much, do too much, work too hard, have too much fun. And it chaps the heck out of everyone else. And within Texas, we have the Aggies. They have too much, they do too much. And the others are on the outside looking in. So it follows jealousy that people poke fun at those on the inside. It's a human trait. In the world, they tell jokes about the ugly Americans. Americans tell Texas jokes. Why? Because no one really cares how many North Carolinians it takes to screw in a light bulb. Who would go see the best little whorehouse in Vermont? If there is one. And in Texas, no one really cares how many Mustangs or bears or horned frogs it takes to eat an armadillo. America is, Texas is, you are the targets. In a convoluted way, it is, after all is said and done, flattery. You are in a private club, and we can't get in. And now you have paid your dues. In a few minutes, you're going to come up here and be branded forevermore as a Texas Aggie. Eventually, you may be broke, you may be divorced, you may be dispossessed, displaced, disgraced. But no one ever, ever will be able to take this away from you. You are about to become a degree-carrying Texas Aggie. You are the Aggies are you. And there is no such thing as an ex-Aggie. When you leave here, you may go to a job. Let's see a show of hands, everybody who has a job. Oh boy. The professors would like to meet you after this. Some of you will go to jobs, to graduate schools, to undergraduate school. Wherever you go, you will soon be known as the Aggie. It will happen, believe me. The office Aggie, the town Aggie, the cell block Aggie, whatever it is. You will spend the rest of your life working and living with people who never dwelled in the halls of hullabaloo, who never even set foot on this campus. Many of them could not afford to send their own children here, so they sent you instead. You have been selected. You have been showered with their money, their power, their affection. Those people will not know, nor should they know, what you did here. They won't know about your professors, your courses, your traditions and songs. They won't care. They will only care about how well you build that bridge, how well you teach that child, lead that platoon, manage that corporation. They will only care about how well you do what you do. And you are it. You're the only one that counts. How many Aggies does it take to mess up the works for everyone else? One. Because to them, you are Texas A&M. The piece of paper you're going to receive up here in a few minutes, you'll proudly hang over your desk or bar stool or wherever you hang out. It will proclaim to all who read it that you graduated with this degree or that. But what it really says to all who come by, who all have dealings with you, what it really says is one simple thing. I am Texas A&M. Because you may well be the only Aggie they will ever deal with, the only Aggie they will ever meet. What others have done makes no difference to them. The only thing that matters is you. You are the yardstick by which this school and all the thousands of people and all the hundreds of millions of dollars will be judged. So be good. Be very, very good. Remember, maroon is also a verb. You are now famous or notorious. It took over a century, but millions and millions of people now know about Texas Aggies. And what do we expect from you? More. We expect more from you, and you must expect more from yourself, because you aren't just any graduates any more than Texas A&M is just any school. You are different. Do not think that you alone have been singled out for a terrible burden heavier than that of all the other graduates and all the other schools. Don't flatter yourself. It is not a burden, but let's be honest, it is a distinction. The world is waiting for you, not with outstretched arms, not with bated breath, but with an open mind and a question. So you're an Aggie. I've heard about you. What's in it for me? Now's your chance to show them. And never forget, never ever forget, I am Texas A&M. I am an Aggie. It is an honor reserved for those who deserve the very best and finally got it. Thank you.
See why he's an honorary Aggie? Thank you very much, man. I would now like to call